Do you enjoy fishing in lakes, streams, or the ocean? Perhaps fish is one of your favorite foods. Or maybe you like to go to the aquarium where you can see a wide variety of fish in all sorts of shapes, sizes, and colors. What exactly are fish? What are some of their characteristics? How are they similar and different from other vertebrate animals? And why are they important? During the next few minutes, we're going to explore these questions and others as we investigate the fascinating features of fish. You decide. What do an alligator, a trout, a salamander, a pelican, and a human being all have in common? That's right, all these animals possess a backbone. They're collectively referred to as vertebrates. Reptiles, fishes, amphibians, birds, and mammals are in the phylum Chordata. At some point in their lives, all chordates share four main characteristics: a dorsal hollow nerve cord, a notochord, pharyngeal gill slits, and a postanal tail. Many of these characteristics change as chordates develop throughout their lives. For example, in the early stages of human development, gill slits are present, but they disappear as the organism develops. Most chordates also have an internal skeleton, or endoskeleton, that resides inside the organism and supports the body as it grows. Vertebrates are chordates that have a distinct head, skull, and bone segments called vertebrae that make up the backbone. If you run your fingers down the back of your neck, you can feel your spinal column. It's composed of individual vertebrae. There are several distinct classes of vertebrates. Some of these include fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. During the next few minutes, we'll focus on the characteristics of jawless fishes, cartilaginous fishes, and bony fishes. Even though these groups of organisms are quite different from each other, we'll collectively refer to these classes as fishes. As you know, fishes are adapted for living in water. All but a few fishes are ectothermic, which means they do not necessarily maintain a constant body temperature, as do birds and mammals. This means that the internal body temperature of ectotherms, such as amphibians, reptiles, and fishes, fluctuate according to the temperature of the external environment. Let's take a closer look at some of the structures and adaptations of fishes. Fishes are the oldest vertebrate group. They're the most numerous vertebrates on the planet, with over 24,000 known species. Why are fishes so prominent? Because they've been so successful adapting to their aquatic environment and occupying a wide range of habitats. For example, their body form and structure enables many fishes to swim efficiently with great speed. You observe. Describe the shape of this fish. This fish has a streamlined torpedo shape. It's a shape that helps reduce friction as the fish darts through the water. Most fishes have overlapping scales that cover and protect the skin. The scales are coated with a slippery mucus, which also helps reduce friction. Most fishes also possess a structure called a swim bladder that enables them to move up and down in the water. Many fish have well-developed senses, including keen vision and a well-developed sense of smell. The olfactory lobe in some fishes, such as sharks, enables them to smell food from great distances. Adult salmon, amazingly, use their olfactory lobe to smell and return to the stream where they were born to lay their eggs. Most fishes also have a well-developed set of sensory organs called the lateral line system. This helps a fish detect vibrations and changes in water pressure. The lateral line appears as a slight groove running from head to tail. To successfully live in the aquatic environment, fish use structures called gills that capture oxygen gas from water and give off waste carbon dioxide gas. Gills are respiratory organs consisting of layers of thin, feathery tissue richly supplied with blood vessels. Water enters the mouth of a fish and passes through the gills where gas exchange occurs. The water then exits through gill flaps. These are just a few of the adaptations fish possess, making them so well suited for life in the water. Perhaps you've heard of or even eaten a delicacy called caviar. You decide. What is caviar? Caviar consists of fish eggs, often from salmon or a type of fish called sturgeon. The life cycle of most fish begins with the laying of eggs by the female, although some fishes, such as sharks, bear live young. Eggs are fertilized externally or internally by the male. It's not unusual for some species of fishes to lay thousands of eggs, of which only a small percentage hatch, with even fewer surviving until adulthood. With a few exceptions, parents generally do not care for the eggs or for the young. While most fish spend their lives in one general location, like the bass in this lake, some species of fish, such as salmon, migrate great distances. Salmon are usually anadromous, meaning they spend part of their lives at sea but return to freshwater to spawn. Amazingly, many species of salmon travel hundreds or even thousands of kilometers from the ocean upstream to the stream where they were spawned. They do this to lay their own eggs, guided by the characteristic odor of the stream. Did you know there are more kinds of fish than all other kinds of water and land vertebrates put together? They vary greatly in shape, color, and size. Fish live almost anywhere there's water. Scientists who study fish, called ichthyologists, have identified and classified over 25,000 different species of fish. There are several major groupings of extinct and living fishes. The jawless fishes, in the class Agnatha, first appeared over 500 million years ago, and for more than 100 million years were the only vertebrates. These snake-like fish include present-day lampreys and hagfishes. You observe. What makes this fish look unusual? That's right, it does not have a characteristic head with jaws. These jawless fish have a skeleton made of cartilage and are considered to be the most primitive of all vertebrates. Besides not having a jaw, they also lack the paired fins and scales that other fish possess. There are only about 40 species of lampreys and about 60 species of hagfishes. Most lampreys are parasitic. That means they obtain food by attaching their round sucker-like mouths to the bodies of other fishes. The lampreys then suck the blood and body fluids of the fish for nourishment. Hagfishes, another type of jawless fish, are scavengers, feeding off dead fishes or large invertebrates. The waters here off the Florida coast are inhabited with some of the oldest and at times most dangerous fishes, the cartilaginous fishes. Cartilaginous fish, belonging to the class Chondrichthyes, include sharks, rays, and skates. Nearly all members of this class, of which there are over 850 species, live in the ocean. Their ancestors date back hundreds of millions of years. The common characteristic of these organisms is a skeleton made of a durable but strong material called cartilage. You compare the shape of this shark to that of this fish. The shark has a streamlined, torpedo-shaped body compared to the flattened, wing-like body of the skate. Sharks use their sleek bodies for swiftly catching prey, while the bodies of skates and rays are adapted to life on the sea floor. Unlike jawless fishes, cartilaginous fish have movable lower and upper jaws. In some shark species, the strong jaws are lined with several rows of razor-sharp teeth. Rays and skates have flattened wing-like bodies with whip-like tails that often include sharp, poisonous barbs. A shark's body is adapted for powerful, fast swimming, thrashing its way through the water with its strong tail. Most sharks are carnivorous, preying on fish and other marine organisms. Some, however, such as the basking shark and whale shark, are filter feeders, meaning they eat microscopic plants and animals. Sharks obtain oxygen as water passes through their mouth and over their gills as they swim. They possess well-developed sense organs, including a keen ability to detect vibrations and smells, enabling them to find food and avoid predators. If you've recently eaten fish, most likely it was a bony fish belonging to the class Osteichthyes. Osteichthyes are the largest class of vertebrates, consisting of over thousands of species. Osteichthyes are a very diverse group that's abundant in both saltwater and freshwater. Most members of this group have bony skeletons, paired fins, swim bladders, a highly developed lateral line system, and overlapping scales. The major groups of bony fishes include lobe-finned fishes, lungfishes, and ray-finned fishes. Lobe-finned fishes, once thought to be extinct, were discovered when an example of a coelacanth was caught in 1938. Coelacanths are the only living examples of lobe-finned fishes. Lungfishes, a close relative of the coelacanth, possess lung-like structures that enable them to breathe outside of water during periods of drought. You're probably most familiar with examples of ray-finned fishes. Common examples include salmon, perch, tuna, trout, and swordfish, to name just a few. Ray-finned fishes are the largest group of bony fishes. They possess fan-like fins supported by rays of thin bones. They vary greatly in form and behavior and are widely distributed throughout the Earth's waters. Their origins are traced back to the Devonian period, and their evolution is widely supported in the fossil record. Modern-day ray-finned fishes have proliferated into thousands of species. Common characteristics include dorsal fins, paired pelvic fins, well-developed eyes, and other well-developed sensory organs. During the past few minutes, we've explored some of the fascinating features of fishes. We began by highlighting some of the common characteristics of fishes, including the fact that they live in water, are ectothermic. They have scales, as well as swim bladders, and use gills for gas exchange. These features make fishes especially well suited for their lives in water. We then briefly reviewed the general life cycles of fishes. Some of the characteristics of the major groups of fishes were then explored. We took an in-depth look at agnathans, the jawless fishes. The features of chondrichthyes, the cartilaginous fishes, were discussed. Last, the characteristics of osteichthyes, the most abundant and diverse group of fishes, were explored. Fill in the correct word to complete the sentence. Number 1. Are chordates that have a spinal column. Number 2. Are the oldest and most abundant vertebrates. Number 3. Fishes are, meaning they do not necessarily maintain a constant body temperature. Number 4. Most fishes are covered with overlapping. Number 5. A swim enables fish to move up and down in the water. Number 6. Are respiratory organs used for gas exchange? Number 7. Agnathans are fish that lack. Number 8. Fish spend part of their lives at sea and part in fresh water. Number 9. Chondrichthyes are often referred to as fishes. And number 10. Salmon, trout, and tuna are examples of fish in the category called